Happy New Year, Governor. I wanted to start with something fun. What would you say the state of Michigan's New Year's resolution is?
To win.
I like
It applies to the Lions, it applies to the automotive industry, it applies to everything. So yeah, to win.
Okay, I didn't see that coming. I like that. In 2024, hundreds of Michigan auto workers lost their jobs. In just the last couple of weeks, I've spoken to multiple auto workers who tell me they're really scared for their jobs going into 2025. What would you like to say to them? How are you going to fight for their jobs?
Yeah, you know, we understand that the core of Michigan's economy is the auto industry. 1 out of 5 people in the state work in the auto industry at some place in the supply chain, and it's really important that we continue to compete and win auto investment and jobs here. An average job in this industry is about $72,000 a year. That's more than the average household income. So it's really important that we are out competing other states and other nations. It's important that we have a level playing field, that we don't impose tariffs on Canada, because that makes our vehicles more expensive and harder to afford. And so it's really crucial that we're smart and we're seeking smart policy, and that's what my address today at the auto show was all about. How do we build an economy that makes sure that every Michigander has a path to prosperity?
During your address, you spoke a lot about your plans to work with the incoming Trump administration. President Trump has been very vocal about his plans to cut back or eliminate EV initiatives. Meanwhile, Michigan, we're talking about implementing more public charging stations in 2025. How do you plan to work with President Trump specifically when it comes to EVs?
You know, President Trump has said that he wants us to be building all vehicles here in this country. That's great. That's common ground. I'm all about it. As I said in my address, I don't care if you drive an ICE vehicle, an EV, or a hybrid. I just want people to know that we are going to still work to make sure that we are the place that builds the cars and trucks in this country. We have dominated, but we can't assume that we're always going to. You see what's going on with China and Europe. They are undermining the European auto industry. We can't let that happen in this country. So I support, policies that level the playing field with China, but I also think we've got to be very careful when we talk about tariffs on Canada. That will only increase the cost of a vehicle. It'll cost us American jobs and Michigan jobs in particular, and make it out of reach for the average consumer. And so we've got to be really, really strategic, and that's why I look forward to trying to collaborate with the president, because if his vision is we're building and we are the center of the world when it comes to autos, I'm with that. We just got to make sure that every step is working toward that end.
I reached out to Channel 7 viewers yesterday. I wanted to hear what they wanted to hear from you. One voter wrote to me and he said that Michigan auto insurance is becoming unaffordable. He said that even though we have all of these initiatives, the average Michigander almost can't afford to drive because of auto insurance. He asked me to ask you, what can you do to make sure that it's affordable to drive in Michigan?
Well, we've done a number of things. I think we've helped a bit, but it still is too damn high. There's no question about that. I worked with the catastrophic claims to make sure that people got a refund, and that was very helpful to a lot of consumers in Michigan. We've had tax breaks that gave $1 billion back to seniors and to working families. There are more ways that we need to work to bring down people's costs, and I'm going to stay focused on that. There's always more work to do in this space, and we haven't taken our eyes off the ball.